is a God, they hate me, and they don't want me to have a good time. At 4:30 in the morning. My key sounds so weird on here. Hello? Hello? Am I back? I keep dying. I'm not allowed to have a good time at 4:30 in the morning. I'm not allowed to have a good old time. Gosh darn it. Okay, back to the story. 05-1. I knew Calvin Desmond years ago, in a different life. He wasn't recruited by the Foundation. He volunteered. He was part of a team contracted by the insurgency to run trials on new technology they were developing at the time. But he had a young daughter that was killed by SCP-106 when it breached containment during transit in 1975, years before we had developed functional containment procedures for it, and after that he sought us out. He never said much about it, but you could tell, if that's him in there, he had found a way to remove every trace of the anomalous from our universe, no matter the cost. He would do it. I know he would do it. I can hear it in his voice. Addendum 001.5. The Deception. On January 11th, 2007, after further discussion with SCP-001 and additional independent research, the Overseer Council voted 8-4-1 to initiate a power down of the Spatial Stabilization Array and allow SCP-001 to take the action it had described. 3 Overseers, 05-1-4-12, were in attendance. As a sign of good faith, an anomalous artifact SCP-884 was selected, and SCP-001 was directed to target the reality in which the artifact had originated. 05-3 oversaw the artifact during this process. Begin video log. 05-1-4 and -12 stand alone in the Stabilization Array's control center. Visible on another screen is the dark cloud of gas and dust encircling SCP-001. 05-4 has a telephone in their right hand. They nod to 05-1. 05-1. We're going to begin to step down the power running into the array. When we reach the agreed upon point, we'll hold it there until you can prove to us you can do it what you claim. Do you understand? SCP-001. I do. 05-1 initiates step-down procedure. NetZac cycles down reactors 2 and 3. The cloud of radioactive dust and debris encircling SCP-001 falls into the borehole below it. Visible now as the light from the array is wrapped around it is a jet black humanoid entity. The entity does not move. 05-1. This is it. Can you see me? SCP-001. I can see everything. Do you know what you're looking for? The mirror. Do it. SCP-001 does not seem to respond initially. Its position in the center of the array does not change. The world I see is not unlike your own. In that world, a dying soul attached itself to that mirror, a curse to whoever should own it. It has happened. There is a moment of silence until 05-3 is heard over the radio. God! What is it? It's gone. It was sitting right there on the table and then it's It's like it folded in on itself until it was gone. There's nothing left. Was that you? That narrative has ended. How long will it take? Moments.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
It will be agony. 051 pauses, then nods. Hello. Hi, Dan. Welcome to Gamer Milk Farm. We're on part 3 of the Ouroboros SCP-001 stories. Files, if you will. The space around SCP-001 within the array begins to shimmer. Low, loud pulses of noise are emitted from the air around them, and the light within the chamber begins to bend in towards SCP-001. The array creaks and groans under the stress. 05-4 and 05-12 step away from the observation window. 05-1 does not move. The building around them begins to shake. Points in the air around SCP-001 begin to distort, as if being dragged down individually towards SCP-001. The room darkens. More low pulses begin to rise up out of the borehole. A single thin ring of white-hot debris begins to form around SCP-001. Others join it. Nearby, a klaxon can be heard as Netzach warns of intolerable load on the array. 05-1. Does it hurt you? SCP-001. It is excruciating. Suddenly, 05-1 jerks backwards. The space around his body begins to distort, as if being pulled in towards his center. He reaches forward towards the observation window, his body compressing unnaturally. 05-1. I don't... SCP-001. If that's him in there, and he had found a way to remove every trace of the anomalous from our universe, no matter the cost, he would do it. But... your children free to live, that they do not end in horror, and end to your perpetual struggle, and end to darkness. The freedom to live in the light, all traces must be removed. In 05-1's voice, every trace of the anomalous from our universe. In its own voice, this world must be washed clean. It is the only way out. 05-1 collapses in on himself, folding and distorting down into a single point that hangs in the air for a moment, and then disappears. All around the chamber, the walls begin to bend and distort. The air shimmers. 05-4 is lifted into the air, screaming as her body begins to fold in on itself. Her eyes bulge and her bones audibly shatter. Another wave of force is emitted from within the stabilization array, and the observation window shatters. SCP-001 turns to look up at 05-4, who instantly crumples into a single point and then disappears. 05-12 stands to flee, but is seemingly frozen in fear. There is a loud grinding sound, and then 05-12 falls to the ground. From within the containment chamber, a loud hum is heard that grows considerably louder. SCP-001 is observed for a moment more standing up at the observation deck before it is surrounded by a cloud of dust and debris as the array settles into position. The low pulsing sound dissipates, and all that can be heard is the sound of Netzach's warning klaxon, signaling that it's activated an emergency failsafe. 05-12 is heard sobbing in an unseen corner of the observation deck. SCP-001's voice begins to grind through the metal rings of the stabilization array. Your children free to live lives that do not end in horror, and end to perpetual struggle, and An end to the darkness. The freedom to live in the light. All traces must be removed. This world must be washed clean. The Foundation does not escape atonement. It is the only way out. End log. Addendum 001.6. Tridecim Protocol. We were wrong. Tridecim is no longer an option. Every alternative must be considered. Sustained containment of SCP-001 is now the Foundation's only objective. More information will come as you receive it. 05-3. And that was part 3 of Ouroboros, the cycle proposal. 3 out of 4, actually. And I'm really wondering how this shit all goes together. How does it all work together? I really want to know. The person who suggested it was like, yeah, they sound like they don't connect, but they actually all connect, and I'm sitting here trying to put it all together. I'm very, very, very curious. I want to know. Man, everything crashed, I think. Thank you guys for sticking around as long as you have. I no longer know what the actual time is that I've streamed, but I know it's been at least like, what, 2 hours? Almost 3? It's been a hot minute. Holy shit. Huh. That was my shoulder. Fuck. Jesus. Okay. We're gonna take a bit of a stretch and a breather. I am going to use the restroom real quick. You guys have fun in the playpen. I'm gonna go piss a little. fastest pisser in the, I guess, the East now. Okay. This is the final part, and then I am probably gonna end stream and clean my house. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna hobble around with my little cane. I'm gonna sweep the floors. I'm gonna mop the walls. Clean a litter box. You know, be productive. I'm gonna be productive and I'm gonna do shit in my house. I did a lot of shit in my house today, or I guess yesterday now. That now I have the need to keep cleaning. Not like I have a lot to clean, but I want to like reorganize and stuff. Sleep some more? No. I'm on a nocturnal sleep schedule right now. I'm awake until like... Usually I'm asleep by now. I'm going to assume and I'm going to hunt you down. But, I'll probably sleep. It's gonna happen eventually. But I slept until like 2:30 today. I was up all night last night, working really late. It's kind of the only time that I can focus enough to work is whenever it's dark and quiet. That's whenever my brain feels like it can function on things. And I'm able to actually sit and focus and get stuff done for my job. Yeah, no, it's for almost 5 a.m. here. Yeah, it's the only time my brain works is when it's nighttime. The sun being up makes me 10 times dumber, and I'm already functioning on like half a brain cell half the time, so I take it where I can get it, you know? I've always been like that too. See, like when I was younger, I couldn't ever sleep at night. Apparently there's like a term for it. Whenever you're somebody who's gone through like a lot of traumatic experiences, and it's like, I think they refer to it as like Firewatch or something like that. Firewatch syndrome or some fancy word, somewhere or another. And it's like you can't sleep during the night because your brain tells you to like be on guard. And then during the daytime, when everybody else is awake, you're more relaxed and you sleep better because you know there's like multiple people around and you're safe. I think it's also just like a genetic thing factoring in for me, because like I didn't sleep as a kid. I would stay awake and watch infomercials, and my grandfather never could sleep and my grandma never can sleep, so they're always up really, really late. And I would just hang out with them and watch like the Sci-Fi Channel or just whatever was on the TV. We'd craft things, we'd chit-chat, they would tell me scary stories because they had ghost and alien experiences. This is the same grandparents who would go, what's it called, Bigfoot hunting with me. We did a lot of Bigfoot hunting. They told me tales about aliens that they've interacted with. And, they used to do seances in their house, and And I swear to God, that house is haunted as fuck. And it looks like a creepy haunted house. I love it. I love their house. It's very kind and cozy. It's very haunted. Very haunted house. Okay. We're now going to read part 4, the very last part of this SCP-001 series that we've been reading. And then I'll probably just like chit-chat with you guys for a little bit until I feel like I am cozy and sleepy enough for bedtime. Actually, what if I... cozy? Yeah, that's the stuff. There you go. It's a massive microphone. Okay. That's right, I want it to be big. Notice me. Notice me. You can't look away whenever I take up your entire fucking screen. Haha. Attention grabbed. Yeah, it's a white woman jump scare. Which is funny because I'm not white. Pale as fuck though. But I've since discovered that pale as fuck is only whenever I don't go outside. Astro!
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Gamer Milk Farm. Hi, I'm NeoPo Senpai, your local pint-sized milkman SCP, owner-operator and CEO of the one and only Gamer Milk Farm. I kidnap my viewers, I bring them to my liminal space, the Gamer Milk Farm, I shove their consciousness in my pet chihuahua, and then I force them to hang out with me while I play video games and talk about weird shit. And, you know, now read SCP Foundation things. And then I take their unconscious bodies and I harvest them for breast milk that I force them to make by giving them hormones or surgeries. There's really nothing to keep me from making anybody make milk. It's mandatory here. And it's not a sex thing. Don't worry, it's not a sex thing. I just really like milk, and I really like delivering milk, and I wanted to be the best milkman I could ever be, and I've killed off all the other milkmen. Have you ever wondered why the amount of milkmen delivering milk has gone down in such a long time? Yeah, feel better. It's not a sex thing. It's just a milk thing. Fun fact, I'm lactose intolerant. Fun fact, I still drink like a glass of milk once a week or eat a dairy product, and then I wonder why I'm dying 90% of the time. It's not just a hobby, it's a passion, okay? It's a passion. I'm very passionate about milk. But hi, for those of you who are new or just now coming in, I have been practicing doing SCP readings and kind of ASMR type vibes. Not usually what I do. I'm a variety stringer. I'm a variety streamer. I do karaoke on Saturdays. I play spooky, scary games. I play other video game. Was really obsessed with Silent Hill F. I still need to get the 4th and 5th ending, but I got the first 3. I got the first 3. She brings others the power she can't possess. It's true. I bring everybody the rarest milk in the world, gamer milk, because gamers aren't having sex. And you need to have sex to make breast milk. It's even rarer if you don't, naturally produce breast milk as is. Then it's the best quality, rare, hard to find dairy product. Good, even better. Even better. I don't have to try as hard with you. You started your second run? Ooh. I hope you enjoy your second ending. Everything starts making so much more sense by the second one. And then by the third, you're just like, I got this all fucking figured out. I see. I felt like I was dying, though, playing the game so much, back to back to back to back. I was taking breaks to work and to sleep and stuff, but that was like my focus while I was taking a little bit of a mental break. I was just like, I'm gonna play my first game, because I've never played any of the games in that series. I've just watched people play. I do too. Okay, so let's get started on the final part, and you don't have to know what the other parts were to enjoy this. Fun little reading. Part 4 of Ouroboros, SCP-001. By order of the Overseer Council, the following file is level 6/001 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. Item number 001, level 6 Cosmic Top Secret. Containment class, Esoteric. Secondary class, Principalis. Disruption class, Amida. Risk class, Notice. All things must end. Special containment procedures. It is imperative of the Overseer Council to establish containment of SCP-001. Description. To know the nature of SCP-001 is to know the nature of the Foundation. For more information, see document 001-GOI.01 Apparatus. Addendum 001.1 Attached documentation. Enter description key. Descripting. The first man stood alone on the barren field, and in the distance he saw the locked gate beyond which his greatest shame was kept. He turned to the snake, who writhed on its belly like a worm, and cursed it for its treachery. You tricked me, the man said. You led my hand astray, and now we are damned for it. The snake sighed. I gave you knowledge, it said, and with that knowledge, you made the choice you made. I could not make it for you. The man cried out, all the same, trusting you was my mistake. No, said the snake. Your greatest mistake was believing you had a choice at all. Access document 001-GOI.01 Apparatus. Should intermittent vengeance arm against his red right hand to plague us? Deciro catalog number SC-001/01 document type Summa Mata Operandi. Dates received not available. Operation status closed. Forward. We, the Delta Command, do hereby set in motion the principles of this document, the summa modus operandi of the Chaos Insurgency. We hold the following to be inescapable truths. The Foundation Overseers have altered the fabric of reality for the benefit of their own wicked desires. These alterations are the source of all supernatural activity in our universe. These grievances we hold against them. The 13th Overseer has blasphemed the natural order in his foul contract to stay hand of death, and has usurped the fragile balance of life and given an an impenetrable shield to the horrid adulterers of the Foundation. I have dyslexia, I'm sorry. The 12th Overseer has stolen the wealth of the world to benefit the Foundation's insidious design, and has taken the fruit of many millions for the purpose of turning those laborers against the laborers. The 11th Overseer has spun a circle of lies around the people of this world to protect the Foundation's interest, and has cast a dark eye onto the void to gaslight and pervert true human understanding. The 10th Overseer has kept a dubious record of the Foundation's malfeasancies and altered history to suit them, and has mocked truth and reason for the sake of maintaining the Foundation's cruel legacy. The 9th Overseer has betrayed the trust of their fellow man and sworn allegiance to the cancerous council, and has time and time again turned away from opportunities to strike them down and prolong their greed. The 8th Overseer has committed wicked acts against the ignorant public with their careless use of the nuclear weapons, and was one of the first to breathe life into an organization that should have butchered it in the crib. That should have been butchered in the crib. God damn it. Damn it. God damn it. The 7th Overseer has manipulated innocent populaces to create chaos and destruction for the Foundation's benefit. It has shown nothing but contempt and malfeasance against an innocent and unwitting, against the innocent and unwitting. The 5th Overseer has warped the very boundaries between space and time to extend the Foundation's cruel reach, and taken dark and horrible secrets from those far-off places to use them to fuel the Foundation's death machine. The 4th Overseer has lulled the nations of the world into believing that the Foundation means them no harm, while working alongside the same treacherous intentions that would see this planet laid to waste. The 3rd Overseer has used mankind's own technologies against them to act as an all-seeing watcher over the overseers, spinning a web of eyes that has eroded every last shred of human privacy and decency. The 2nd Overseer is complicit. The 1st Overseer has established the council of monsters and demons that answer at his beck and call, and so he may sit on his foul throne atop a putrid wound of the Foundation and lap like a dog from its seeping, pustulent orifice. The Overseer's cancerous anomalous influence of the world is a wound on the fabric of the universe. A wound that festers cannot heal until the irritant is removed. The 13 Foundation Overseers are the irritant in the wound of our reality. The 13 Foundation Overseers must be removed. By order of the Engineer and those who stepped down, we stand in defiance of this aberration. We stand in opposition to this blasphemy against nature. We stand insurgent against this chaos. Our path is clear, our vision unclouded. We must clean out the wound. We must let our universe heal. We must destroy the 13 Overseers. Oh my God, it's just different gods. They're all gods, and this is a situation where they became God. The Overseers are God. Oh my, is this the same universe? Is this an alternate universe? Is this the Overseers after they get sucked into the fucking, the singularity? Is that what this is? That feels like that's what this is. Hold on, I got pulled in some beef on Twitter. I'm gonna do some beef. Some fake beef. This looks good. Can I draw on this? draw on it. Man. Thank you for the stretch. I want to do fake beef. God, my mind is going all over the place right now. I want to know how these things are connected. Okay, let's continue. I'll look at the fake beef in a minute and do something silly on Twitter after we're done with our goal here. This is the last part. I love SCP stuff. There's podcasts I like to listen to. I'm not able to memorize SCP numbers and things like that because of my weird problem with numbers, but I know which ones I really, really like the best. I think embryos is my favorite SCP still. 10 out of 10. That one was a good one. That was a good story. Thank you for the follow.
I am the
welcome
milkman.
in.
My milk is
We
delicious.
are reading Ouroboros, a 4-part SCP file series. And I think they're all fucking gods. Machine that kills puppies is messed but kind of funny. Oh god. Hereafter, we of Delta Command document the Summomoda operandi as transcribed by the engineer of the Chaos Insurgency. Number 1. Step 1 of 13. Open file. 05-13. The Other Overseer. Formerly Dr. Felix Carter, Caucasian male, date of birth unknown, was once a doctor for a research consortium named the International Academy of Existential Sciences. Early conspirator of 05-1, and the individual called the Administrator. Supposedly was a bargaining chip used the deal to mate with death itself to allow death a seat on the council while grossly prolonged the lives of the overseers. Presumed extremely dangerous, location is only speculated and considered impossible to reach. Description complete. Access log. Oh god, this one's so long. We'll just open the files of the specific guys. Damn. This is such a long one. You know what, we already know about the Overseers. We know they are in charge of the SCP Foundation. Or at least the big projects for them. They are involved. My brain's a little fried right now. They are the big cojones. And they got sucked into a fucking little singularity. Like the fools they are. Shut up, birds. Shut up, birds. Shut up, birds. You don't know. It's not fried because it's 5 a.m. It's fried because of other reasons. Okay? I woke up at 2:30 p.m. I did a lot today. I was productive. I took a little nap. I worked. I want to have my cozy time. This is my cozy time. Cozy time. Yeah. Milk reasons. Let me read about my spooky little SCPs and live my best life. Dang. Okay, it's just the files on the Overseer, so this is all we have to read. Okay. Oh 05-12. The Accountant. Previous name unknown. African male. Appears to be in his 40s. Well-known figure in financial markets, though rarely spoken of publicly, if ever. Dresses in expensive tailored clothing with similarly expensive jewelry. Wears dark glasses. Apparent mathematical genius, supposedly capable of running the calculations for probability itself in his mind. Likely anomalous influence. Maintains foundation financial accounts. Manipulates trade markets in order to cure wealth for the foundation and by extension himself. Supposedly has members of his own staff seated at high-level positions on financial boards for all major world governments. Okay, work. I clicked the wrong button and now I have to click things again. Boo. Okay. Overseer 11. 05-11. The Liar. Date of birth unknown. Unknown descent. Unknown origin. Unknown gender. Incredibly difficult to identify. Single identifying mark is a small scar on the left temple, usually hidden by hair. Generally appears as wealthy woman in lavish outfits. Primary disinformation entity within the Foundation. Oversees team that maintains cover stories. Amnestic supply. Supposed connection with the gargantuan aquatic entity in the Bay of Bengal. Possible reality-bending properties. Extremely dangerous. Notably, no records seem to exist of the appointment of 05-11, unlike all other members who were either chosen by 05-1 or voted onto the council after the death of, and non-recovery, one of their colleagues. 05-11 seems to have simply appeared on the council one day. Overseer 10. 05-10. The Archivist. Formerly Diane Walters, a librarian, Caucasian female. Appears to be in her late 40s. Possible strong connections to the Wanderer's Library. Extensive knowledge about the Foundation's involvement in previous end-of-world scenarios. Supposedly maintains a constant record of every activity taken on Earth from the moment she took her place on the Council forward. These records are used extensively in the application of the machine beneath Yellowstone. One source identified 05-10 as being the most bloodthirsty member of the Council. According the source, she is obsessed with the perceived divinity of herself and the Council, believing herself to be above any natural laws. In her eyes, normal humans are fodder, a means to end in reaching some greater understanding of universal truth. Some sources indicate a possible obsession with the idea of omniscience. This has not been verified. Operator 9. OS-9. The Outsider. Adult female of Maori descent. Appears to be in her late 30s. The only current member of the Council believed to be recruited from outside the Foundation. Hi, welcome in. Despite some irregularities, bears a striking resemblance to Donna Wetsu Taylor, a noted geologist, who apparently took her own life in 1985 after a massive scandal involving severe academic misconduct was revealed, professionally ruining her credibility and involving her in a number of lawsuits for fraud and the misuse of public funding. Yes, I am an SCP milkman myself, you see. Due to her scientific background, 05-9 is perhaps the most focused research mind on the Council, She maintains several major projects at any point in time, several of which have gone on to produce technology used by the Foundation in major applications, such as the canned counter. Due to her scientific background, 05-9 is perhaps the most focused research mind on the Council. She maintains several major projects at any point in time, several of which have gone on to produce technology used by the Foundation in major applications. Oh, I already read that part. You can, whatever. Oh well. Double the information. One of the more secretive members of the Council. The outsider is rarely seen outside of Overwatch Command. Notably, her inclusion on the Council is a point of issue with several other members who see her as needlessly short-sighted.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Welcome on in. Overseer. 8. The Lesser. Caucasian male, age unknown. Possibly former American industrialist Baron Lehman Holiday, who was believed dead after a train owned by his company, the BG Holdley Group, later acquired by Keter International, derailed, killing nearly everyone on board. According to many sources, 05-8 originally held a significant amount of control on the early council, due in no small part to the massive financial holdings he had access to through his brother, Garrison Holdley. After his brother's death and the sale of his company, his authority diminished considerably, and he was eventually ousted as the de facto leader of the council in favor of 05-7. Thank you for the biddies. In the time since, he has maintained his council vote, but his influence is all but non-existent. Supposedly, became obsessed later in life with modifying his body and soul with anomalous technology and artifacts. Paranoid. Obsessed with the idea that the council members will want to kill him. Oh 05-7. Green. Caucasian female. British or German ancestry. Appears to be in her early 50s. The first member of the council voted in, rather than appointment, by 05-1, after the previous 05-7 was determined to be no longer useful by the rest of the council. Is believed to have at one point been a site director, though any records of this have long since modified or outright been removed. Regardless, it is believed that 05-7 has been working within the Foundation nearly her entire life, having joined as an administrative aide when she was only 14. Has become the apparent leader of the council and controls a considerable amount of authority in that position, while a veto from 05-1 could theoretically
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
That veto has never occurred. Tickler bungus. Tickler bungus? Tickler bungus. Thank you. Also, once again, thank you for the 1-bit beast trigger. Thank you for your milk donation. I will sell your milk for $19.99 a bottle on the black market so that I can buy video games and anime figurines with big fat ass titties. Your breast milk will be used accordingly. Anyways, perhaps the most often seen member of the council, she attained the name Green due to her nearly always being seen in green pantsuits. Some high-level sources within the Foundation staff have another name for her, Flytrap. Often described as the most sinister member of the council, while other members might have diabolical intentions or ulterior motives, 05-7 alone has the authority to make everything she intends to happen come to pass. She is often described as working towards some end, though her goals are a mystery. I need more water. Wonderful. 05-6, the American. Caucasian male, Spanish ancestry. Appears to be in his mid-50s. The least subtle member of the council. 05-6 is former American Union Brigadier General Rufus King. After fighting for the North in the American Civil War, 05-6 was appointed as minister to the Papal States, believed to have first met the individual called the Administrator while in Rome. The source of his longevity prior to the supposed deal with the death itself is unknown, and if the current understanding of the Council is correct, then despite his appearance, he is by far its oldest member. 05-6 is believed to have founded the first mobile task force, Alpha-1, Red Right Hand, whose original purpose was strictly to find and destroy members of the fledgling Chaos Insurgency after their formation. Since then, he has administered all matters of the Foundation's executive arm, the Department of Applied Influence, encompassing all task forces, naval groups, and air superiority groups. While not originally advocating for its formation, 05-6 supposedly drew up the original organizational information for MTLF Omega-7, Pandora's Box, at the behest of General Bao. Has gone by several different names with modern military circles, and is believed to have held an office at the Pentagon since its construction. His standing within the American military is unknown, though at least 3 major sources have confirmed that any military leaders consider his authority second only to the sitting United States President, and several believe he supersedes it. 05-5, Blackbird. Male, British, Moroccan ancestry, age uncertain. Generally regarded as the most jovial member of the council, is not afraid to be seen joking in public, has often commented that he believes the dark curtain between Overwatch Command and the rest of the Foundation, as well as the unnecessary seriousness of the council itself, are a preposterous and often detrimental joke. Despite this, there are several incongruities surrounding 05-5. Some sources have indicated that they believe that they have heard 05-5 talking to himself as if he were having a conversation, while others have described conversing with 05-5 and then speaking to him again shortly afterwards and feeling as if they were not talking to the same person. In the debriefing of the neutralization of SCP-1730, one source described how a rescued member of the Site-13 staff was able to identify a picture of 05-5 as a member of the Global Occult Coalition in their world. Oh my god, yeah, it's these different guys, it's these different organizations. So what happened? Did they all just become one? Did they make the universes fold in together? Oh my god. Oh, it's all those different fucking foundations. Oh god, it's all coming together. Kind of, sort of. I'm sure if I had the energy to read all of these journal entries, I'm gonna link to this whole series, by the way.
A fantastic day for capitalism.
There's so much. There's so much, and I feel like I'm missing so much because I'm too tired to read, like, every single thing, but I want to. We might have to come back to this again. Oh, God. Aside from forming the Department of Paranormal Organizations Review, 05-5 has apparently led considerable research into the existence of alternate realities, and is known to personally review anomalies that interact with other dimensions as they arise. What if he ratted out the reality facility that we were just reading about. They were worried about that too. They were like, what if they find us? And SCP-001 was like, nah bro, I got this. I got this. 05-4. The Ambassador. Persian male, Iranian, Armenian ancestry, French heritage, appears to be in his early 30s. Some sources have provided records indicating that 05-4 was, in his youth, French actor Jean Lemus Bertrand, born Jean Ibrahimi, since most evidence of 05-4's exploits were apparently destroyed shortly after his appointment of the Overseer Council. Little is known about his professional career. Commonly called the Ambassador, 05-4 is called to action whenever the Council needs a pretty face, often described as being incredibly attractive and anonymously charismatic. He has acted as a Foundation salesman whenever required. Sources indicate he was first tasked with drawing American attention away from Mexico during the Second World War, likely due to the severe anomalous activity taking place there at the same time. The first god! Oh! They used that one SCP to take out the big SCP, and oh my god! That's me clapping on my knees right now, I'm sorry. God. Despite being well-spoken and appearing generally well-educated, 05-4 is not an academic, nor is he particularly interested in the prospect of managing an organization. He is well known for delegating any duties he might accrue in order to maintain as little responsibility as possible. This lackadaisical attitude towards leadership was manipulated by 05-7, who convinced the Ambassador to give her an unofficial automatic vote for anything she might support. God. God. Da da da. Da da da. 05-3, the kid. Unknown age. Unknown gender. Unknown ethnicity. Very little is known about the actual nature of 05-3, often described by sources as not being human at all, and instead being an artificial intelligence designed to create other artificial intelligences. It has not ever appeared physically outside of Overwatch Command, instead appearing through avatars on screen and speaking with a digitally constructed voice. The single image a source was able to find of 05-3 is a very young Korean child in traditional Joseon apparel. I don't know how to speak Korean, which is unsupported by any other claims about the Overseer. Why do I stream? Because I am a very bored, disabled, little crackly online creature who finds it as a good outlet for creativity and meeting people and maybe, I don't know, entertaining one or two people here and there. You know, spread my free time, have fun with everybody. And I do it full time, and I'm, in a way, very thankful that I get to do it full time. And it's a nice break from the work that I have to do, and I spend a lot of time at home, so it's just nice. It's a nice little escape. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is supposedly the direct report for Mariah Jones, the head of the Foundation's record-keeping and Information Security Administration, having seized that authority from the archivist when those records became digital. Notably, Foundation AIC units, such as the Alexandra and Thorn units, are incapable of discussing O5-3, despite evidence that information about him accumulates in their databanks as they learn over time. Well, welcome. O5-2. The Nazarene. Female, Middle Eastern descent. Appears to be in her 20s. Extremely little information exists about the individual called the Nazarene. Even the origins of her name are unknown. The only source able to provide any information about her insists on two things specifically: that she is never seen without O5-1, and that she has changed over time. Early Foundation documents mention O5-2 as being the head of the Foundation's Department of Morality, now the Ethics Committee, though it does not appear as if she has ever served in that role. One source indicated that her name perhaps comes from the fact that she is never seen without a pair of dark gloves, which she has never removed in public, leading some to believe she is hiding scars on her hands or wrists from her crucifixion as Jesus of Nazareth. Though, where this rumor begins, and what would lead anyone to draw that conclusion in the first place, is unknown. O5-1. The founder. Caucasian male. Appears to be in his late 30s. Believed to be Aaron Siegel, a psychiatrist who attended Cornell University in the early 1900s. Became involved with Frederick Williams, the individual later known as the Administrator, shortly after the turn of the century. Led the first research team that would eventually become the SCP Foundation, along with O5-13, O5-10, O5-2, and several others. Is this the beginning? That's why it's 001. It's all of their different little anomalies. Oh, son of a bitch. The events that led to him founding and assuming command of the Foundation proper are currently unknown. Despite once being fairly active in the day-to-day of running the Foundation, O5-1 has pulled away in recent years and has not been seen in public for the last few decades, leaving O5-7 to manage the entire organization. While his death has been assumed on a number of occasions, on very high-level source confirms. One very high-level source confirms that he continues to vote during council meetings. Despite once being fairly I already read that. God damn it! While nearly every other overseer maintains a private residence, O5-1 is believed to live at the Overwatch Command. The location of this facility is unknown. Epilogue. Ouroboros. Oh, god damn. Oh, damn. All of their files are vacant. Completely empty. Shit. And that concludes, Ouroboros. A 4-part SCP file. That was so good. There's so much more to be read on this, too. I'm going to grab us the link to the original so that you guys can, if you want to, check it out. You can see the images that I wasn't showing on screen. You can hear some audio files. Very, very good. Thank you. I don't really do ASMR stuff. And I don't do a lot of reading. because I have a hard time with it due to dyslexia, but I don't know, it seemed like something fun that I wanted to do. I wanted to read some scary stories, read some SCP files. Thank you. I'm trying to be not loud and disruptive, but I have a good time doing spooky readings. Hold on, let me get that's my Halloween costume. I'm a goblin. Put all my stuff back on. But it's been so fun. Halloween is my favorite holiday, which sounds stupid because, you know, teehee alt girl like Halloween. But I like being scared. I like when everybody is down to like look into more spooky stuff and listen to scary stories and watch scary movies. October 31st, right? Isn't the last day of October? I know it's on a Friday this year. Let's open my calendar. Yeah, October 31st, it's on a Friday. But I really like spooky stuff. Like I used to spend a lot of my late nights, because I couldn't sleep as a kid, and spending summers with my grandparents. They couldn't sleep at night either. So we would often watch sci-fi, or they would tell me scary stories from their experiences with like ghosts and aliens and all that stuff. And they took me Bigfoot hunting. So creepy stuff is, I don't know, it's one of the things that I have big interest in. I used to show it on stream, or I think I showed it on stream before, but my movers fucking stole my collection box. I had a collection of the Evil Dead stuff, comics, figurines, DVDs, and they got stolen. They got fucking stolen. I only have one Ash figurine now. I'm so sad. I love the Evil Dead. I wish the game didn't flop so bad. I loved playing the Evil Dead game. It's gone now. Or I don't know if it's gone. I just know the community's dead. It had potential, and they didn't want to like keep putting work into the game. They just kind of made it, and they're like, okay, we're done. We're done. We did it. We did what we wanted to do. We made an Evil Dead game. We made a 1v4 horror game. It was sort of, kind of, but not really. Because it was more like, unlike Dead by Daylight, where you have like full-on, hands-on control. Why? I'm explaining the nuances of the Evil Dead game compared to fucking Dead by Daylight. How dare you? Coming in here, beating the fuck out of me. We have new people around. But, whereas Dead by Daylight, you are in, like, control of your one killer, and you have to, like, walk around slowly hunting people down. In the Evil Dead, you were kind of like a dungeon master. So you could, like, sort of teleport around and shift around and, put down traps, like, oh, there's gonna be, like, this many enemies here, and you'd have to wait for, like, your gauge to load up to use that specific skill. So, like, put a horde of deadites here, make a jump tree here, and you'd have to really strategize to figure out how to catch and kill all of the survivors before they could find the pages of the Necronomicon, use the Necronomicon, and then kill the big baddie at the end. Thank you for your milk donation. I'm happy to have popped your milk cherry. But, oof, yeah. I think we're gonna, whenever I do decide to end stream, I'm going to end it with our SCP lore file. Everybody gets one. It's how you keep track of how many streams you've been to, too. It was really fun. I loved that game. And, like, some of the balancing was really cool, too, because it was a very big map. So you'd either have to rely on natural spawning deadites to find the survivors for you, or the survivors being really stupid and, like, shooting a gun and setting off like a car nearby you, because you would be like an invisible force. You know how in the movies they have the camera scenes where it's like rushing through the woods, all crazy, there's like sounds going on? That's how your point of view is sometimes when you're doing that. And if they would set off like a sound, it would alert you to that area and you could rush over there. So you had to be very careful with when you would use like a firearm in the game as a survivor. And you could find things like machetes and chainsaws and things like that, I believe. It's been a while since I played it. And like healing stuff. And you were trying to be sneaky and get around the deadites and find the pages of the Necronomicon. Through hints, it would give you hints as to where these things were. And once you figured it out, it would pop up on your map. And everybody could split off and go get things to make it harder for the Deadite Dungeon Master to, like, get their thing going on. So finding the Necronomicon pages was essentially getting generators filled up. No, I'm explaining the Evil Dead game. So it essentially was sort of like their generators was finding the pages. Because it would take you a while to find the pages and to get the pages set up. And then you'd have to like go to one area, use the Necronomicon, summon a thing, you know, fight the thing, hope that the Deadite DM doesn't, you know, pop out in front of you, murder you. One of my favorite things you could do as the DM, you could pick different kinds of Deadites to command. And they would have like a leader. So one of them was the Deadites from, I believe, Army of Darkness. So you would have Evil Ash at the helm of that, and then a bunch of like funny little skeleton guys and weird little deadites from that series, from that movie. There was Henrietta from the Evil Dead 2. Basic deadite stuff, you know, the first movie, second movie, and then they added in Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is the series, the TV series. I fucking love that TV series. I like that Ash's special, like, what makes him the chosen one is just dumb luck. He's just really fucking lucky, but not lucky at the same time. He's just stupid. He's just stupid and stupid dumb luck. Yes. Yes. Good. I wonder what my record player sounds like through this filter. Hold on. I want to find out for science. We're gonna find out together for science. Record player, plug in. Okay. I'm scooching over here. Come here. Oh god. Oh god, the Gorillaz record's so close to being funded on the throne. I'm half tempted to buy it myself off of the throne after I get paid. I want it so bad. All I have is this one. That sounds interesting. A little loud. So, get rhythm. When you get the blues. I love Johnny Cash. He had to be the first artist that I got on record. Really, really, 100% needed that. He really was. I got a book called Johnny Cash, The Life in Lyrics, and it's like all of his songs, what he wrote them on. Yeah, I do have a physical record player. It's right next to me on my desk. But I have a whole book about Johnny Cash. It's got scans of like tissues and stuff that he wrote his songs on, and what was going on in his life around the time that inspired that song to be written. He really is. I like that I can hear. It doesn't sound bad through this voice mod either. This is the only record I have. I think, one or two on my throne wish list. I haven't been able to buy myself any records. I want to get some from my grandma's house. Closest I could get to a music collection stream is my Spotify liked list, which is, I think, in the thousands now. I want to lose count. I want to get a stand for my record player and something to put my records in. Oh, that sounds so cool.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
Yeah.
Keep my eyes wide open all the time.
I try not to buy things that aren't necessary, because I'm disabled, and so a lot of what I do for money depends on me being able to actually function to do it. So everything I make goes directly into bills and groceries. I do not like to waste money on things that I'm too worried I'll be like, damn it, I could have used that $20 for something more important. Food and bill greater than record player. I live with a disabled veteran, and I live with a active duty military fella. And we all just sort of pay into our household. 'Cause you're mine, I walk the line. Oh, I need more water. But it's very nice. I'm glad that I don't live alone.
You got a way to keep me on your side. You give me clothes for love that I can't hide. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tide.
I don't talk a lot about my personal life. Mostly because I've had people in the past who have been really weird and shown up at conventions and stuff threatening me. Like, I have been legitimately stalked. And it's such a weird thing to say because I am not a big streamer. But I have very close friends of mine who are very big streamers, and so I attract some strange individuals sometimes. Mostly pretty chill people. I have a nice time here. Maybe. That might be the reason. Yeah, no, it was very strange. I used to be a lot more, like, I guess, what's the word? A lot more talkative about my personal life. And then I've just kind of learned to separate the two. See, that's weird though, because the people that work in like management and stuff that I've been talking to, they've always told me that less is usually the safer route, but the bigger you start to get, the more likely you're going to get concerning people. Yeah, no, there's a good strange, and then there's a bad strange. There's the good strange that is hang out, you know, be silly, enjoy time, and say weird little things every once in a while. And then there's the I got banned for being an awful person on multiple occasions to this streamer that I have only attended like a few streams of. I'm going to go to this convention that they're going to be at in person and, you know, threaten them. What is a friendly neighborhood degenerate? You're not on the list, are you? I know it's nice to be able to read my chat. I don't think I have it in my brain to be able to process a chat that's going by like 50 miles an hour. I don't think I can handle that. I don't know how I would handle that. That's the thing. Well, hi. You're not late. You're not late. Technically. Well, I like to be able to give people somewhere to go. And it's like a big group of people hanging out in one area. The way I see it, for me, it feels like I'm in a Discord call and I'm the only one who isn't muted. And I'm the only one sharing my screen. And it makes me a lot less nervous. Like, I keep my viewer count off at all times too. Because I don't like putting a number on anything. One, numbers make me extremely anxious. I don't understand them very well. And two, I don't like thinking of it in that kind of way. I just like being here. What's the idea behind the milk squirt? Oh. Do you want to see my lore video? I can show you my lore video. Here, let me show you my lore video. Hold on, no, this will explain everything. We just did a re-debut, and I made this lovely, lovely thing with my manager, Birds.
Item number SCP-13-9-12-11. Object class, Keter. Height, 140 centimeters. First documented sighting, Vermont,
A
1794.
fantastic day for
Victim
capitalism.
code name, Milkers. Item SCP-13-9-12-11, aka The Milkman, has the appearance of a human female whose visual traits somewhat resemble the popular Neapolitan ice cream. Inside its containment bottle, its appearance changes to a disturbed version of itself. It seems to attempt to hold on to its human form, while its body begins to drip and liquefy into milk. Once milk is separated from SCP-13-9-12-11's main body, it is classified SCP-13-9-12-11-M1 and seems to cause hallucination, and urges to free SCP-13-91211 upon consumption. The taste of SCP-13-91211-M1 is different for every being and is described to resemble the taste of the consumer's favorite ice cream. The SCP-13-91211 is highly dangerous. It kidnaps humans who are known to play video games. SCP-13-91211 refers to said humans as gamers. Gamers are then physically modified to be able to provide breast milk. After being modified, the gamers are attached to milking machines 24/7 to produce what SCP-13-91211 calls gamer milk. For the sake of said milk, this milk is classified as SCP-13-91211-M2. In some cases, the gamer's teeth are removed and are sold as teeth by SCP-13-91211. The gamer's consciousness seems to be removed in the process of modification to be put inside SCP-13-91211-D, aka the Hive Mind. SCP-13-91211-D has the appearance of a small chihuahua with Neapolitan colors. Due to its habits of trying to escape its captor, SCP-13-91211-D is kept inside a handbag and forced to wear a small ducky helmet by SCP-13-91211. SCP-13-91211 shows violent and lethal behavior when interacting with other milkmen. The decline of milkman delivery is believed to be caused by SCP-13-91211 and other milkmen. Fact number 1. Outside of containment, SCP-13-91211 uses the popular internet website Twitch.tv, where it broadcasts itself playing video games to lure in more victims. If a gamer does not produce enough milk for SCP-13-91211's liking, they are sent to a farm up north to be. All agents attached to the case must follow protocol. A. Do not engage. B. Do not hit follow Twitch. C. Avoid suspicion at all costs. And D. Under no circumstances should the entity be aware of the investigation. Item SCP-13-91211 is to be kept in a large milk bottle. Every 7 days it needs to be transported in said bottle to another Foundation site by a person dressed in a 70s milkman outfit. The bottle needs to be checked for cracks daily, and the lid is to be sealed tight. SCP-13-91211 seems to have no issue with the lack of air holes. Under no circumstances is the bottle to be opened. People who play video games of any kind are forbidden to get near SCP-13-91211's containment. Communication with SCP-13-91211 is only permitted to site staff with clearance level 3 or higher. Any signs of milk gathering outside the containment is to be reported to site security immediately. Breach of any protocol is punished by. SCP-13-91211-D has the appearance of a small teacup chihuahua that is referred to as Boobles. Attempted rescue of this entity have been ceased due to its unpredictable nature of being both a victim and a willing captive. It contains over 4K victims' consciousnesses. It is unstable. Do not approach. It has unpredictable behavior. More data is needed. Further analysis is required. Item SCP-13-91211's current status is unknown. It was last seen during a containment breach on the. After the site was back under control, there was no sign of SCP-13-91211 or SCP-13-91211-D. Due to SCP-13-91211 still being on the loose, no talk of SCP-13-91211 is permitted outside of these walls. It listens to our actions to avoid capture. Leaking of information will result in immediate termination of person. The entity appearance. Artist rendition was done by Agent Space Brûlé, who is head of character redesign, full model artist, and reference sheet artist. The rigging was done by Agent Flufficus Max, who is the full body rigging and creative input collaborator. Please go show them love. Without these two amazing people, none of this would have happened. As of this moment, this case is still pending. Welcome to the SCP Milkman Sector. You've been officially briefed and will now be given your Foundation-assigned laptop for further investigation on Twitch.
Welcome back! Did you have a fun time? Did you like learning? Have you been educated now? Does that answer some questions? I'm gonna assume yes. You've had information dumped into your brain, and now you know how everything works here at the Gamer Milk Farm. Good. I'm glad you liked it. Hooray! And fun fact, and I'm gonna forget this information after I say it, but we do have special channels in the Discord that are for SCP, like, documentation, essentially. If you would like to be part of this weird little thing, it's a fun way for everybody to sort of interact. You know, audience participation. Teehee. It's one of my favorite things, though, creative writing and creative writing as a group. What are you talking about? What channel, Zero? I miss doing creative writing. I want to get back into writing. I think that's the downside of being a burnt out, gifted, and talented kid. Is I used to do writing, and people were like, "Oh, this is good writing," and then I fell out of love with it, and then the anxiety of not being good at it again made me go, "No, I'm not doing that." But I used to do writing, and I used to do singing, and I used to do drawing, and pretty much anything that is a creative outlet, I dabbled in heavily. I used to make handmade plushies, and now I design plushies as like a profession for companies, which is so fun. It is so fun. The only thing, that's really the only thing that I'm able to do nowadays now too, with how my health has been going. I can't draw in heavy detail like I used to. And plushies are cute, plushies are simple. Plushies don't kill my hand and make me cramp up. So, for those of you who are new, I am a disabled little creature. I was born with pituitary dwarfism and a couple of other conditions. I took growth hormones to get to the size that I am now. Maybe that's why I'm like obsessed with milk, because I'm tiny. I'm 4'7". Due to the human growth hormones I had to take for 13 years, it caused a lot of issues with my organs and my skeleton as is. So I have a lot of health conditions, essentially. And I also suffer from autoimmune disease. So it's a fun little time being me. So that's why you will often find me here on stream. If I'm not live
A
streaming,
fantastic day for capitalism.
I am in my bed doing my work for the company that I designed for. And a couple of the things that I've done actually came out recently. So I work for Kawa Entertainment. I am a designer for Kawa Entertainment. And I essentially make cute VTuber stuff. Thank you for the stretch. Like plushies, and I kind of for like, hey, what would you like to do for your merchandising? I can help provide, you know, assets for that. And then the company goes, here's your pay for your hours that you keep track of. And luckily, my iPad does that for me, so I don't have to think. Thank you! Nene's merch was so fun to do. I'm so glad that she let me do the kitty milk mug. Because I was like, it sounds like titty. It sounds like titty milk. Goodbye. Have a good day, Giuliano. But that's what it's like to be me. Titty nice. Titty good. But yeah, no, that was fun to work on. There's gonna be a couple of things coming out through Kawa that I got to do. And it's some of the bigger stuff, like the more complicated things to design. And that makes me happy. And I'm having such a fucking good time doing it. And I want you guys to know, we are doing another merch drop for me, and it's gonna be like an actual one and not just a, hey, here's a hat. So we're gonna have the hat. There's gonna be a Boobles thing. And I don't wanna like spoil it too much, but it's gonna be a Boobles. You can physically obtain something of Boobles, and it's gonna squeak. Little squeaky fella. Little squeaky guy. Boobles, yes. Boobles is my chat mascot. So everybody in chat, everybody in the community exists inside of this dog, as stated in the video. How long? I've been on Twitch for, I want to say 5 years, and I spent a lot of it on hiatus due to my health conditions. But since getting established with like a better setup and a better way for me to rest and stuff as well during streams, I go on hiatus a whole lot less. I used to just go, I can't get out of my bed, I can't stream. Yeah, and then at one point, my PC blew up trying to play Lollipop Chainsaw. And I was without a computer for I think like a couple of months. And one of my friends' communities, the Palm Squad, ended up funding a gaming laptop for me to stream from, which is what I currently stream from. I don't know how much longer it has in it, but I'm here as long as it's chugging. Yeah. Yeah. I've come a long way though. Hold on. I don't even have my original model anymore. I lost it in the great PC explosion of 2023? 2024? I think 2023. But I was able to get this one back from the person who rigged it. So I used to look completely different. While my computer was exploded, I was working with a couple of people for essentially rebranding and becoming more of what I felt was me, and really building up on the creative writing and the lore aspect of my streaming existence. But this is what I used to look like. I used to be a fox. I used to be a fox, and I could do this. Really dumb things. But this was what I used to look like. exactly, my eyes are down here. I didn't start off like that. I had a chibi model that I drew. I drew this one myself too. But I had a chibi model that I drew. And people kept calling it a lolly. And I was like, no, please. Just because it doesn't have titty. It's not even child-shaped, but everybody kept calling me a lolly. So then I decided the opposite of a lolly is massive boobie and thick hips. And then everybody was kind of like, oh my god, it's a lewd tuber. And I was like, no, not really. Not really. And then from here, we ended up over here. I was very puntable, yes. Well, I didn't really do lewd tuber stuff. People just kept assuming that I was a lewd tuber. And I kind of was like, oh, I guess I'm a lewd tuber. People say I'm a loop tuber because I, like, say curse words a lot, and my content was not for kids. It's still not for kids. I say some shit. I do shit. I'm here to be in an adult space. Thank you. The design is based off of a lot of the things that I liked when I was younger. Yeah, see, Birds knows I'm not a lewd tuber, but people would refer to me as a lewd tuber. But I really like emo and scene and decora, and so all of that kind of just smooshed into my new design. And I wanted to look like I had killed a milkman and stole their uniform and altered it. And that's why my hat is so big. That, and I really like Fievel, An American Tale. I liked how big his hat was, and I specifically was like, I need a giant hat. Massive, giant fucking hat. I think the closest we get to lewd stuff is whenever people get skebs and draw fan art. "6'4". And I'm 4'7", and I'm 4'7" here, and I'm 4'7" in my super duper detailed 4D model. Yeah. It's so easy to pop my spine now. I'm just taking the cane and just kind of using it to hold myself while I twist. There we go. He was a massive milkman. How do you think they bang all those husbands? Wives. Could you imagine a reversal gay milkman? The wives go off to work and this big strong milkman, all 6'4" of him, comes over. How dare you? The milkman milked my husband while I was away. Oh my gosh. Oh God. That's too much woman. That's too much woman though for me. No! Hydras, please. Is it because I'm still awake? Is it because I've been streaming for 5 hours? Is that why I'm being beat? I'll never be tamed. Walter White. He doesn't control me. A lengthy divorce process. Where is it? There it is. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed being here. I think streaming has been a really fun outlet for me. I've made a lot of good friends while streaming. I've gotten so many opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten if I was staying on the path that I was on. It's weird to say, but my physical health shitting out on me, I think, set me in the direction that I was meant to go with my life, you know? Because before I became a streamer, I was really out of necessity. I didn't want to do this, but it was like the only thing that I could do. Yada yada backstory, yada yada child trauma. I was a exotic dancer from pretty much as soon as I got out of high school until a little bit after COVID times. Because during COVID times, I started having a lot more health problems. It was harder for me to be up on my feet for long periods of time. It was getting harder for me to just really exist in that environment anymore. Because I was a professional pole dancer. So it wasn't just I got up there, took off top, shook butt. I did stage performances. All of my stuff was choreographed. I performed. And that's how I made my money, was stage money and then people paying me to just kind of sit there and talk with them all night. I didn't have to do dances. I didn't have to do like extras. I just hung out with people who could afford my time. But with my health going out, I wasn't able to dance. And even before that, what really started it was COVID hitting, and then I couldn't go dance anymore. I wasn't able to be in the club because it was shut down. And so I ended up getting on VR chat because I had a headset and I had free time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get on VR chat. And I was doing weird little skits and really a lot of yes and improv and stuff with other people. And everybody would be like, haha, what's your Twitch? And I was like, what the fuck is a Twitch? What do you mean? What happened with your health? I can get to that. So I did that, and I Twitch streamed a little bit, and I ended up, like, getting affiliate, like, after a week. And I thought it was fun. It was a fun little hobby. And I was still dancing. But I noticed, like I said, that I was having a harder time with standing up and not fainting. It kind of just slowly progressed further and further. I had to stop dancing because I was not physically capable of it anymore. The pain and pretty much the entire lower half of my body started coming more and more. It used to be like a day I would feel bad, and then I would be fine for a little bit. And it just started going from, oh, it's a day that I don't feel good, to, okay, it's a few days of I don't feel good, like everything's in pain. I'm fainting whenever I stand up. I'm getting dizzy even when I'm laying down. And it just slowly became more and more. and then just full body joint pain. And unfortunately, I did not get medical care before my insurance went out. And I had a hard time with that. Still trying to get that handled. There's a lot of unfortunate, like, this led to this snowballing that led to me, being in the condition that I am today. But, found out that this entire time I have had autoimmune disease my entire life that was caused by genetics, and then another one that was caused by literally the being in fight or flight for my entire childhood and early adulthood. It started to affect my body. It started to affect my health. My eyesight has always been bad, but it caused damage to my eyes that gave me double vision. So now I have, like, these massive fucking glasses that I wear that are the exact same glasses that I have on my model, because I just embraced it. Yeah. Pretty much just, I am very, very, very broken, and I am the result of two teenagers having a baby and having, like, their own genetic issues, and then also doing drugs while pregnant with that baby. I am a should not be. Full body inflation from the constant stress hormones. I was gonna say more like autofellatio, cause it's like my body eating itself. But then I realized that just sounds wrong, but then I said it anyways, cause I couldn't keep that thought inside. It needed to come out. But yeah, I have pituitary dwarfism. I have a fun mystery autoimmune disease, and then a known diagnosed autoimmune disease, which is a fun one that it's essentially my blood can randomly clot and will randomly clot whenever it wants to. And it puts me at risk for, like, a aneurysm or a stroke or a heart thing. Like, really, wherever a blood clot can go cause a problem, that's a likely thing for me. I've actually had, like, my kidneys get fucked up from what is now known to have been something wrong with my blood. It's just a big pile of things. And like I said, I'm thankful that I get to come here. Twitch honestly has kept me feeling like a person. It really has. I used to be very physically active. I did pole dancing. I'd go hiking. I'd go camping. I played games, but it was more of like I just got off work. I've got a little bit of free time. I'm gonna play some game. And I'd draw. I did a lot of commissions. I did a lot of, like, character designs back then too. I have a lot of trouble with my hands now. There's not a lot of strength in them. It's an existence. And I'm happy to be here. Because there's been many times where I've gone through experiences where I couldn't, or I shouldn't have been here. So I just feel thankful, I think, at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it. Like, even when I'm stressed out, even when I'm exhausted and tired and, like, everything sucks, I'm lucky to be here. And I know there's people in way worse situations than me. So I'm very thankful for what I do have. I try and focus on what I do have and not what I don't have. And what I do have is a amazing space that I can come to and that I can provide for other people to have, like, just a nice place to be. Somewhere you can go no brain and just, I don't know, have a silly conversation, play a game, listen to some karaoke, and it's a nice outlet. It's what I can do. And I am continuing to push myself every day to do more and more. And I'm very happy because through VTubing, like I said, I made my friends. I've gotten opportunities. I've been sent to conventions. I've gotten to meet all kinds of different professionals. And it's how I got my job. And my job is becoming a big lifesaver for me. One, I feel pride in the work that I'm doing. Two, it's a fun and wonderful way that I can keep myself, like, fully grounded. Because there is, like, mental strain. I am stressed. I am going through, like, mental periods of, I used to be physically capable of doing more than I am, and I'm so tired of being in this bed, or I'm so tired of feeling this pain, and it keeps me grounded. I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm just very happy. Like, even with things being how they have been and how they are, I'm just happy. I'm not where I used to be. And everywhere I've been before has been phenomenally worse. So all I can say is, like, my life is slowly improving, and it's been slowly improving since I was a child, little by little. Like, heavily improving. Even if it feels like it's just a small step forward, I'm happy to say that, like, my life has been moving forward. And I'm happy about that. Thank you. And I like being, like, as connective and honest with you guys as I can be outside of, like, you know, avoiding doxing myself. Things like that. And I used to be, like, way more open about talking about my personal life, but like I said, I've had weird threads. But I'm happy to be the milkman. And I'm glad that you guys let me be the milkman. Oh ho ho ho, yeah. Tears, don't, lies and slander. Lies and slander. Not really, unless you actually are. I don't know how to take people being concerned about me, seriously. If you're here more than once, you'll take notice to the fact that I don't know how to take compliments and how to, like, accept people being genuinely nice to me. See, it's straight from the word of birds. Birds is my I want to say, like, volunteer manager. He helps me with, like, keeping things on schedule and small help with projects and stuff. Yeah, thank you. see, like I said, I am working on getting back onto my, what is essentially like SSI. I used to be on it when I was younger. I've been on it since I was essentially a baby, but I grew up in the South, and a lot of my family was always like, oh wow, if you get assistance from the government, you're an awful person, you're the worst person ever. And I felt shame for needing government assistance for my insurance and to essentially help me exist because I had disabilities. And it was things that was going to affect me in adulthood like it does now. And I didn't know that when I was younger. I didn't really wrap my brain around that when I was younger. And I voluntarily removed myself from my SSI when I turned 18. Like, as soon as I was a legal adult, I went in there and I was like, I would like to remove myself, please. And they were like, are you sure? Because you have all of these medical things listed. You qualify for this. You don't make too much money. Like, you live with caregivers. And I was like, no, I'm an adult. I can handle myself. I will take care of myself. I need not this. I'm capable. Everybody has told me I'm capable, other than my grandma, who is telling me not to do it. And I took it off, and everything went fine. But like I said, my health just progressed worse and worse and worse. And then now here I am going, well, fuck, I guess I did need that insurance and that help. Well, goddamn. I also had hard-ass social norms enforced on me for no reason, and it proved to be horrendous for my life. Agreed. So much so. But yeah, adult me is wanting to go back in time and curb stomp 18-year-old me. That would be so fun. So fun right now. You son of a bitch. You fucked me. You know what? She would be embarrassed to be seen with a cane. So I will show up back in time, and I will beat her with the cane. And what's fun is, this sounds like bragging, but it is a result of my pituitary dwarfism. I have not really aged much from how I looked at 18. So it would be so fucking surreal for me to be hanging out at my grandma's house as an 18-year-old, breaking up with my boyfriend randomly
A
on a side
fantastic
call,
day for
and then
capitalism.
proceeding to take myself off of my SSI. If I'm sitting there doing that, and then boom, here comes what does not look like a much different me other than really, really long hair, and pajama pants, a little bit thicker in the ass. Just being like, you little bitch, and then beating myself with the cane. I could just over and over again. And then maybe it'll alter the future. I'll just yell at her the entire time. Like, this is everything you've done wrong in this exact moment. Whose side would your grandma be on? I think my grandma would go either, oh yeah, this is my grandchild from the future, or this is like a spirit, an apparition. We're seeing some kind of like gift from God. Listen to it, because apparently you done fucked up in the future. She wouldn't say you done fucked up, but she'd be like, I told you were making some poor decisions. wish I could show my cane right now. Could demonstrate on my giant cinema roll. Beating your own ass in the past gives you even more. No! I end up like on crutches. You know, my grandparents were awesome. Will you be beating us with the cane at Offkai too? If I go to Offkai again, in person, and I have security, I will beat you with a cane. It has to be consensual though. Offkai is, I believe, the biggest VTuber convention in the US. It's a convention for VTubers to sort of come together and treat it like a business convention. So we get to like network, and we get to interact with companies that want to work with us, and then VTuber fans get to go to Offkai to meet VTubers in person if they want to do like in-person meet and greets, to attend little concert events. There's like Artist Alley and VTuber merchandising there. No, TwitchCon is focused on all streamers, whereas Offkai is focused on Twitch streamers. Not Twitch streamers, on VTuber streamers. Sorry. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, pretty much anywhere you could find a VTuber. Offkai is focused around them. And that's where I met a couple of people that I think are really cool. Really cash money. The last Offkai, which was my first Offkai, I got to meet my close friends. I got to meet my really, really close friends. I think one of my best memories still of Offkai is sitting in OP Kitty Cat's window, and just like looking down at all the people practicing their dances for the shows with the glow sticks and stuff, you know? And they were all wearing their happies. And it was just so cool to just watch them. Just watch them do their little dancing. And just getting to hang out with her and like yappity yap with her in person after knowing her for like fucking 5 years. I think I've known her for as long as I've been streaming. So fun though. Oh, my neck. Pop. Pop, crackle. But no, at Offkai is where I experienced the craziest stuff. Like, we had people stalking us. We had people trying to record us on their phones. And when they were asked to stop, they were like, no, I'm trying to figure out who those VTubers are. And 90% of the VTubers you see there will have face masks on, or they'll be in cosplay. I saw one person wearing a full body suit and sunglasses and a face mask. And she was in a wheelchair, and she had a very, very cute voice. So therefore, she was somebody. I don't know who she was, but she was somebody. It does. A lot of VTuber stuff, especially like the areas that my friends and I are in, are based around idol culture. And idol culture is, I feel, where a lot of parasocial, like unhealthy, there's friendly parasocial that I feel is safe. And then there's creepy, obsessive parasocial, like, this VTuber is my girlfriend. This VTuber is my reason for everything in life, and if she ever does anything that I don't like, I'm going to make her pay. You know, that kind of unhealthy. Go on. The elephant in the room? Beep boop. Diversity. You, what do you want in the world? How do you want disorder? No, somewhere between the sacred silence and game. You kind of alluded to it, but I think since you're a whammon, there are a lot of harassers are going to be loser men. Not exactly. I don't know. There's male VTubers who go through it too with women. There's women who get obsessive. I feel like some people, I'm not saying like it's loser creepy people, because there's some people that seem like functioning members of society, like they seem like cool people, and then they turn out to not be cool people. That was the one thing I didn't like from Offkai. I didn't realize it was so bad till it was there. Yeah. I think that really opened my eyes to a lot of, like, I knew that kind of stuff existed in, like, VTuber spaces, the parasocial concerning fans, you know, community members, things like that. I didn't realize how bad it was until, being there and seeing people, like, following girls and taking pictures of them and trying to figure out who they were, and there was a moment where we had somebody trying to follow our Uber when a big group of us was going to eat. Bitsy! I may have to go for the day. Bitsy, come here! Bitsy has gotten stir crazy. But, yeah, if anybody wants to talk a little bit more, in the Discord chat on the general channel. Boop boop, there we go. I don't want to have Bitsy crying into the microphone. Bitsy! But, goodbye everybody. It was a very nice time, you know, getting to sit here and yip-yap and read SCP files. I will see you guys probably later tonight, sometime between 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. I don't know. As usual, I'll announce it on Twitter. I'll announce it on the Discord. But I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of the Gamer Milk Farm.